So the transfiguration is a tough one. I think. Um, yeah, I would probably need to be a biblical scholar to really like dive into this to the depth that is kind of there. But there's a few things that I that do stand out to me that I can speak on here. One of the things is we have Moses and Elias and Jesus all there. And as we know, Moses and Elias are very significant, prominent prophets, very significant figures in salvation history. And when God speaks, he says, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased, hear ye him." And all that's left in the end is Jesus. So that's significant in that, like, God is making a very clear point of the significance of who Jesus is. And he does give a little bit foreshadowing of what's to come and what's to happen, right? He tells them, actually, like, tell no one about what happened until the Son of Man be risen from the dead. So he's kind of told, I think at this point, he's already told them, like, the Son of Man will die and then rise again. So he's emphasizing that. It's like, I will die, but I will rise again from the dead. And it's really showing the significance of the sacrifice that Jesus will be making for humanity. And it's the sacrifice that God the Father is making. God the Father said, I sent my Son, my beloved Son. And if you watch the short that I did for the Saturday reflection, I've mentioned there, and I've mentioned before, that in my life, there's been nothing that has really shown me the love of God the Father more than my son being born. Because when I look at him, I see him immediately. I mean, I don't even have to be looking at him, but just the moment that he was born, I loved him. I loved him before he was born. And it's that kind of love that like makes me understand how big of a sacrifice that is. Like, I can only imagine like giving my son over to be sacrificed for something, anything. Yeah, but even the good of the world. That's like heart wrenching to think about. And what a gift that I don't have to. But an understanding that how big that is for God, because God loves infinitely. So even as much as I can love my son, it's never comparable to the love between God the Father and the Son. Like, there's just no comparison. Not even close. So yeah, that's just my thoughts there. Is, I guess, this Lent understanding in a deeper way how big of a sacrifice it is for Christ, but also how big of a sacrifice it is for God the Father. And as we know, Mother Mary, it's her son. And that's probably the most love a human being can give to Jesus, honestly, is the love that Mary has. Yeah. I think I might just leave it there. And just think on that and ponder on that more, and just really ponder on the chasm between the love I have for my son and the love that God the Father has for me. And I would encourage you all to pray about that as well. Because in a way, God does say that to us as well, that we are his beloved children in whom he is well pleased. Obviously not pleased with our sinfulness, but objectively, as it says in Genesis, when Adam and Eve were made, that it was very good, that we are ultimately made to be very good. And so I said this in my short for Saturday, but God desires for us to be reconciled to him, which is why Jesus sacrificed himself. So let us be reconciled to God. Go to confession and be reconciled. So anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know if you have any thoughts, any reflections you want to share on that. Maybe you're a biblical scholar and you have a lot to say about transfiguration, much more than I could say, and maybe much more eloquent as well. But anyway, if you enjoyed this, make sure to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can get notified whenever these go live. All through Lent, I am also doing daily gospel reflections. So those are quick shorts, 1-minute reflections. If you want to tune in for those, I appreciate that as well. But they're not as long as this, but they do go. Well, I try to make them go out every day. The last few days have been a little bit of a struggle, but I try to get those every day. Quick 1-minute reflections and just sharing my thoughts on that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next week for Sunday's Gospel Reflection, or see you in the daily reflections. God bless.